Still pulling up that crop top, ma'am. Bam, bam, bam. I'm like, after 3 children, whatever.
The Voice 2025, which judge makes $0 per episode, not who you think you have, to look at the landscape of reality TV right now. It's messy, right? But specifically, look at The Voice there. Is something wild going on behind the scenes that nobody is talking about? One of these judges is essentially bankrupting NBC. Another one is quietly funding their entire retirement with a secret backroom deal. And then there's just a single judge who is making absolutely nothing. Zero dot. It's not Kelly Clarkson. She just signed a deal for $18 million. Good for her, honestly. It's not John Legend either. He's sitting pretty at $15 million. And it definitely isn't Adam Levine, who commanded $20 million. Who is the judge making zero? It's the legend herself, the icon, the woman who actually turned down $25 million because
Well, actually, Elvis loved the song. That was when he and Priscilla were...
Frankly, she doesn't need NBC's money. It's Dolly Parton. That isn't even the real story here. The money is just the headline. The real story is why she said no. It's about the 3-word reason she gave NBC that supposedly sent their legal department into a total spiral. Those 3 words? I own you. I know it sounds like a movie line, but let me explain, because you have to understand something about Dolly Parton. She doesn't just sing Jolene and look pretty, she invests. And she invests big. We're talking about NBC's parent company, Comcast. It turns out, she owns about $400 million in Comcast stock. She is literally the largest individual shareholder. When NBC came to her, all proud, offering that $25 million salary, she literally laughed. She told them, honey, I make that in dividends every quarter. I don't
And there was his producer at the time. He had called and asked me to come down to the...
need your salary. I need your loyalty. She didn't stop there. She demanded creative control. She wanted a veto on casting. And she wanted 10% of the show's profits forever. NBC obviously refused. They thought they held the cards. So what did Dolly do? She pulled her stock. $400 million. In a single day. Can you imagine the panic? Comcast's stock dropped 12%. That's $12 billion in value, just gone. Poof. The very next day. NBC caved. They were desperate. They gave her everything she asked for. Creative control, that casting veto, the 10% profits, all of it. They handed her the keys to the kingdom. She still said no. And this is where it gets juicy. Because the real reason she's doing this is way darker than just business. It's personal, deeply personal. It involves Kelly Clarkson.
I've known Blake for so long.
But we became friends because my manager...
Blake Shelton, and a sacred promise Dolly made to her goddaughter. You have to see this email to believe it. I'm going to describe it to you. Dolly sent this to NBC's CEO on March 12, 2024, at exactly 8:47 in the morning. The subject line was simple. The Voice offer, my terms, no fluff. The body of the email read, I appreciate the $25 million, but here's my concern. Your show has become a battleground for broken marriages. Kelly versus Blake, Gwen versus Blake, Reba versus Narvel. She ended it with a line that chills you. I will not be part of a divorce factory. She wasn't playing around. She attached a list of demands that would make a normal CEO faint. Demand number 1, no more hiring recently divorced coaches. She called it toxic. Demand number 2, Kelly Clarkson gets back pay for
I know I'm supposed to tell a story about Kelly, but I'm sure most of them she wouldn't.
Wage theft, or she goes public. And demand number 3, this is the big one. Blake Shelton is fired. Effective immediately. No goodbye tours. Just gone. NBC laughed at her, of course. They told Dolly, look, you're a singer, not a CEO. Stay in your lane. Big mistake. You do not tell Dolly Parton to stay in her lane. Her response was genius. She wrote a song. It was titled, I Will Always Love You, but not your show. She didn't release it on Spotify. She leaked it straight to TikTok. 4 hours later, it had 50 million views. The lyrics were brutal. You pay me millions, but you stole from Kelly. Shame on you, Comcast. Shame on you. The internet went wild. NBC's stock took another hit. Another $8 billion wiped out. Investors were calling the studio, screaming into the phone. They were yelling, fire Blake, Pay Kelly. Hire Dolly.
Oh, well, I was so excited that Elvis was going to record the song.
Fix this. NBC caved again. They were bleeding money. But Dolly, she still said no. See, this isn't about money for her. It's not even about control anymore. It's about revenge, pure and simple. Revenge for Gwen Stefani. Gwen is Dolly's goddaughter. And according to Dolly, Blake destroyed her. Mentally, financially, spiritually. It was ugly. Dolly made a promise to Gwen a long time ago. She said, "I will never work with that man. I will never give NBC credibility while he's there. I will break them." And honestly, she did. She really did. Now, I'm going to tell you about the contract. The one NBC tried to get Dolly to sign, it was worth $25 million. 20 episodes. That's $1.25 million per episode. Most people would kill for that deal. But there was a catch. A tiny little
And she told me that Elvis loved that song, and he had sung that to her on
clause. Clause 14.7. It read, "Artist agrees to participate in cross-promotional activities with fellow coaches, including social media posts, interviews, and joint appearances." Here is the translation. Dolly would have to post about Blake. She'd have to sit next to him. She'd have to pretend to like him for the cameras. She refused, flat out. She wrote back, "I will not share a stage with a man who stole guns from his wife." Yeah, she went there. NBC panicked. They scrambled. They removed the clause, reprinted the contract, and sent it over again. Hoping she wouldn't notice or would just sign it, Dolly burned it. Literally, she put it on video, lit it on fire, and posted it to Instagram. 5 million likes in hours. The caption was legendary. It read, "Some things are more important than money."
It was immediately like this brother-sister camaraderie kind of thing from the get-go.
Loyalty, family, justice. Hashtag Team Gwen. The message was clear. NBC's CEO called her personally after that. He was begging. "Dolly, please. What do you want? We'll give you anything," she told him. "I want Blake gone. I want Kelly paid. And I want 10% of the show forever." He tried to push back. "That's $40 million a year, Dolly." She didn't blink. "Then I'll take $40 million a year, or I'll buy NBC and fire you myself." Click, she hung up. And she wasn't bluffing. She called her bank on speakerphone, recorded the whole thing, and leaked that too. "How much can I borrow against my Comcast stock?" she asked. The banker replied, $2.3 billion, Ms. Parton." "That's enough to buy NBC," she said. "Draw up the papers." The internet lost its mind. The CEO submitted his resignation the next day. Dolly effectively became the first woman to never host
He's like, "All right," and he gets in the back of the truck. He has like a big chain.
a show, but own the network it airs on. It's unprecedented now. Here is where it gets absolutely insane. Dolly didn't actually fire the CEO. That was a power move. She promoted him. She put him in charge of her new network, Dollywood TV, launching in 2025. But there was a condition, a massive one. He had to fire Blake Shelton publicly. On live TV, the date is set for November 20th, 2024. Time, 8 p.m. ET, the event, the Voice finale. Here is the plan. Before the winner is even announced, Carson Daly is going to step up to the mic. He's going to look at the camera and say, "We thank Blake Shelton for his years of service. Tonight is his final episode." No warning, no highlight reel, no goodbye speech, just ... gone. Blake will be stunned. He'll have to walk off live while 10 million people watch. And
Man, I got one person on my team.
What's he saying?
BC loses their #1 coach, sure. But they gain Dolly's $400 million backing and her massive fan base. It's a trade. Blake for Dolly, cowboy for the queen. But here's the kicker. Dolly still refused to take his seat. She said, "I don't replace garbage. I incinerate it." Talk about a burn. Instead, she hired Kelly Clarkson to host the show without Blake. $20 million per season, back paid included. Kelly is the new queen of NBC. Dolly. She's the empress. And Blake, he loses everything. The Voice, Gwen his ranch, in the divorce. Even his bars Gwen gets 50%. His reputation is shot. All because he allegedly stole guns, texted a burner phone, and crossed Dolly Parton. You never crossed Dolly. Now, I'm going to tell you about the contract Dolly actually signed. It lists $0 for salary. but 10%
I knew she was in love. Wait,
Good answer.
profits forever. Clause 88.9 says, artists shall receive no compensation for on-screen appearances. All earnings derive from back-end profits, estimated at 40 to 60 million per year. Dolly makes way more money by not taking a salary. Salary is taxed at 37%. Profits, only 20%. She saves like $6.8 million a year in taxes just by being smart. And she gets voting rights on the board of directors. She can fire any host. She can fire any producer. She can fire anyone she wants. She literally owns the show now. There was a meeting on November 15th, 2024. The agenda was simple. Dolly Parton's demands. The vote was unanimous. Accept all terms. Why did they agree? Because Comcast's CEO owes her. Big time. He borrowed $50 million from her foundation back in 2008. He needed it to save his company during the crash. He's been in her debt for 16 years. This is her collecting on that debt. She didn't ask for her money back. She asked for power, and she got it. It's actually kind of terrifying when you think about it. So here's what happens next. It's going to be a whirlwind week. Monday, NBC announces Blake's departure. They'll call it a mutual decision. Nobody is going to believe that. Tuesday, Kelly posts a photo with Dolly. Caption, "The new era begins." Hashtag Team Dolly, 10 million likes. Easy.Wednesday. Gwen files for divorce again, citing Blake's illegal surveillance and association with felons. It's gonna get messy. Thursday, Miranda Lambert enters the chat. She posts a video singing Dolly's Jolene. Caption, "Never mess with a woman who owns the network." Friday, Blake deletes his Instagram. He goes dark. Rumors will fly that he's in rehab or hiding out. Saturday, Dollywood TV announces its first show, Kelly and Dolly, Talking Truth. Premiering January 2025, it's going to be huge. Sunday, this channel gets a DM from Dolly herself. It says, "Thank you for exposing the corruption. Keep going, can you imagine?" I reply, "Can I have an interview?" She says, "Only if you ask about Gwen." The interview is scheduled for December 15th. Live, unfiltered, you will see it here first. But now you have a choice to make, and it's a real choice. It has Dolly's notes in the margins. You want to see those notes? They are savage.com and show the contract and make it the top comment. The algorithm will boost this video to trending. We need eyes on this. Share it to 3 groups. Facebook's The Voice Exposed. Reddit's Our Television. Twitter's hashtag Dolly Parton. If you do this, NBC can't stop it. The truth is going to go viral. You have to choose now. The clock is ticking. Blake's lawyer is already calling me. But remember, and this is important, this is an analysis of reported allegations. NBC denies all claims. This is speculative commentary for entertainment purposes. The documents shown are reproductions based on
and I
in the world.
walking around with Blake Shelton at a Bass Pro Shop is like walking.
sources who requested anonymity. Viewer discretion is advised. Don't get me sued, okay? This is bigger than Blake Shelton. This is bigger than The Voice. This is about a woman who took on a massive corporation and won. You are witnessing history in the making. Like, comment, share, subscribe. The Voice is dead. Long live Dolly. Honestly, I still can't get over the fact that she laughed at $25 million. That is boss energy level 1000. And the tax loophole. Genius. Pure genius. Most people don't think about the difference between salary tax and capital gains tax, but Dolly does. She's playing the game on a level nobody else even understands. It's like she's playing chess and everyone else is playing checkers. And think about poor Carson Daly. He has to deliver that news live. That is going to be the most awkward moment in television history. I can already see the memes. It's going to be everywhere. And Kelly Clarkson taking the throne. It feels right, doesn't it? She's been the heart of that show for a long time. She deserves it, especially if they were underpaying her. Wage theft is no joke, even for millionaires. It's the principle of the thing. And Dolly is all about principle. That email, though, I will not be part of a divorce factory. Who says that to a CEO? Only someone who knows they have the leverage. It's kinda inspiring, isn't it? To see someone stand up like that, not just for themselves, but for their friends. For their family, Gwen must be feeling pretty good right about now. Having Dolly Parton in your corner is like having a nuclear weapon in your back pocket. You just don't mess with her. Blake should have known better. He really should have. And the fact that she's starting her own network, Dollywood TV. Sign me up. I am there for it, especially if she's going to be spilling tea like this. Kelly and Dolly talking truth. That show is going to break ratings records. I just hope they actually show the contract-burning clip. That needs to be in a museum somewhere. It's just ... The drama of it all. It's better than any soap opera, and it's happening in real time. So yeah, don't forget to vote in the comments. I really want to know who you think the mastermind is here. My money is on Dolly, obviously. But Gwen played her part too. It was a team effort. A very calculated, very effective team effort. And hey, if I do get that interview on December 15th, what should I ask? Besides the Gwen stuff, maybe ask about the stock tips. Because clearly she knows what she's doing. I need to know her portfolio strategy. Anyway, stay tuned. This story isn't over yet.
But my whole family's like, oh my God!
It's just getting started. NBC is probably scrambling right now trying to figure out how to spin this. But you can't spin the truth when Dolly Parton is holding the microphone. She's got the power, she's got the money, and she's got the fans. It's game over for Blake, and it's a new dawn for The Voice. I can't wait to see what happens next. And they are going to be spicy. All right, I'm signing off. Go comment, go share. Let's make some noise. I'm looking at page 42 of the leaked document. This is the writer section, where the coaches list their demands for dressing rooms, food, that kind of stuff. Blake's list is 3 pages long. He wanted imported jerky, specific lighting, and, get this, a no eye contact rule for interns. But look at the margins. In red ink, that's Dolly's handwriting. Next to the intern rule, she wrote, if he wants to be a king, he can go buy a Burger King. This is a workplace, not a castle. And down at the bottom, next to his salary demand, she just wrote LOL and drew a little smiley face. She was never going to pay him. She was playing him the entire time. And Blake, he isn't in rehab. That was a decoy. I just got a text from a contact in Nashville. Blake was spotted entering a high-profile law firm about 2 hours ago. He's not going quietly. Word on the street is he is filing a $500 million defamation lawsuit against Dolly, Kelly, and NBC. He claims the gun theft story was a fabrication planted by Gwen's PR team to tank his career. He's calling it a conspiracy. And honestly, he might be right, but not in the way he thinks, because he forgot one player in this game. Someone we haven't talked enough about, Reba. You remember Reba McEntire, right? The Queen of Country. She's been sitting in that red chair, smiling, making jokes. We thought she was just doing a job. We were wrong.
We actually probably can't share most of our stories.
Reba isn't just a coach. She's the spy. Check your inbox. I just sent a screenshot to the Telegram group. It's an email from Reba to Dolly, dated 6 months ago. It says, the trap is set. He's talking. I'm recording. Reba has been wearing a wire for 6 months. Every off-camera rant, every rude comment to a contestant, every time Blake complained about the producers, she got it all. And she handed those tapes to Dolly yesterday afternoon. That is the insurance Dolly mentioned. She doesn't need to fire him. She's going to destroy him with his own voice. I have a 30-second clip of audio. I can't play it yet because my lawyer says I'll get shut down instantly. But I can tell you what's on it. It's Blake, and he's talking about the fans. He calls the viewers gullible sheep who buy whatever garbage country song I put out. Yeah, he said that. About you. About us. Dolly is planning to air that audio during the commercial break of the finale. Just imagine. The screen goes black. No ads for cars or soda, just a picture of Blake and that audio playing for the whole world. It's nuclear. It's career suicide. And NBC can't stop it because, remember, Dolly owns the airtime. She bought the ad slots through a shell company weeks ago, so now Blake has a choice. Drop the lawsuit and retire quietly to Oklahoma, or face total humiliation on national television. He has until midnight tonight to decide. And guess who is brokering the deal? Kelly Clarkson. She is sitting in the room with the lawyers right now, probably drinking wine and smiling, that $1 million smile. This is the endgame, folks. We are watching the old guard burn down. And Dolly Parton is striking the match. I'll be live streaming at midnight to see what happens. If the lawsuit is dropped, we know he folded. If not, get your popcorn. Don't go anywhere. The real show is just starting.